Hi, I'm Bill Stark with LeaderGov. Each week, LeaderGov shares a leadership lesson to help you become a high-performing local government leader. Today's lesson is on strategic advantages. Your strategic planning efforts will no doubt include many things. For instance, gathering insights and input from citizens via town hall meetings. Perhaps it'll include assessing your current conditions, your strengths and your weaknesses, to help you get a sense for where you are as a community. Maybe your strategic plan will include setting up major goals for the next 3 to 5 years. And of course also establishing critical focus areas, these large areas that need additional investment and additional focus. All of those things would be in your normal strategic plan. But today I want to talk to you about something a little bit different as it relates to your strategic plan. It's the idea of discovering and leveraging key strategic advantages that you already have, instead of just focusing on a list of big projects. Think about strategy from the perspective of something that you're good at that needs to be leveraged to solve a problem. In World War II, one of the Allied forces' major strategic advantages was their ability to plan well and use surprise to their advantage. If the enemy was large and well entrenched, they might use a diversion or surprise to get them to move and disperse, for example. In doing this, they'd have a better chance of having victory over the enemy. In fact, at least on one occasion, the Allied forces had literally blow up tanks and planes and put them out in a field and piped in loud sounds so the enemy, just a few miles away, could hear what sounded like a big tank buildup. Even their airplanes flew over and saw what looked like a huge line of tanks and planes. It was really a great surprise, and it worked. Another strategic advantage they had was the use of speed to help them beat a larger, slower enemy. They took something they were good at and used it to the hilt to their advantage. So what are those things in your community that need to be solved that can be solved by you leveraging a superpower strength or advantage that you have? Here are some thoughts along those lines just to get you thinking. If you have a great communication team, that's a great asset. Maybe you leverage their skill to expand a growing millennial population in your community. If you have ongoing economic development team, if you have a great economic development team, which is a strategic advantage, use them to help strategically secure new healthcare businesses near a hospital to build up higher paying jobs. If you have great working relationships in the community, that's a strategic asset. Use those relationships with your chamber and Main Street and others to aggressively solve the need for new businesses and tax growth. Maybe you leverage a very organized finance team and an IT team, that'd be a strategic asset, to address a lingering bad reputation about financial transparency. If you have land, perhaps you leverage that strategic asset for more walking trails or parks. You get the idea. There's no doubt that your city or department has some unique strategic strengths and advantages that can be leveraged to address an opportunity or weakness that you currently have. In our strategic planning work with cities and counties, we turn a SWOT analysis into what we call a TOES analysis, where you strategically align strengths to address weaknesses and opportunities, and you use opportunities to address threats. That's a great way to begin this process of thinking strategically about how you can solve your key issues. We're really glad you're part of the LeaderGov community. We're glad you're here today. We hope this lesson on thinking strategically about your city or your county or your department has been helpful to you. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we'd love to have you join us there. We post blogs and podcasts and other material there from time to time. Also, if you're interested in a retreat, strategic planning, or professional development for your team, those are all things we do, and we'd love to have the opportunity to talk to you about them. Again, we're glad to have you be with us today and to be a part of this community. If there's anything we could do to help you, please don't hesitate to reach out. And until then, we will see you next week.